welcome and enjoy your 4th grade Wax Museum showcase. 4th grade, are you ready?
Yes, we are!
Good afternoon. Is this on? You can probably hear me anyway. Welcome to the 4th grade Wax Museum and Assembly. This is the first time I've seen all of you in one spot. So, very good. We're not on Zoom or anything else. In social studies, the 4th graders have been studying European exploration and explorers. Our focus has been on the time frame between the Vikings in the late 900s all the way to James Cook in the later 1700s, and we even have a couple after that this year. Along with our study of explorers, the students put together an explorer portfolio, which they will bring home and show you next week, okay? Then they also researched an explorer. They wrote a 4-paragraph paper on their explorer and drew an illustration of their explorer. The illustrations that they drew are going to be shown on the screen today as they come alive on stage. And they're pieces of art. Let's see, what else? Okay, that's it. The Wax Museum is officially open. We hope you enjoy your visit.
The greatest explorer to ever live, was born on March 9, 1451 in Florence, Italy. I started my amazing exploration career in my 40s. I sailed in 1497, 1499, 1501, 1503, and 2 other voyages to North and South America. I was one who, on my 3rd voyage, recognized America was a new continent. I discovered Venezuela, Guyana, the Amazon River, Cape St. Augustine, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de la Plata, Bahia, and the island of South Georgia. I didn't quit at all. When I didn't find anything going to Brazil, I didn't stop at that. I knew I would find something. So I searched and searched, and that was when I found Bahia. If I wasn't alive back then, either America wouldn't have a name, or it would still be thought of as Asia. My victory came to an end when I died of malaria in Seville, Spain, 1512. I was 1 month shy of 58 years old and still have all the fame back then as I do now.
I am Honduras, the most famous Black African country to ever, unlike some others. I was born in 1487 in Spain. It is so beautiful there. Sadly, I died in 1547. I explored for Spain. The main reason I explored was for money and gold for my beautiful family. I was sold into slavery as a child and brought to Puerto Rico by Pedro Garza. I know, same last name. I earned my freedom to become an explorer. Okay, I might have helped protect concrete access and hurt a few people, but it wasn't my fault. We could have got left behind if we didn't follow the order. I was actually the first slave black man to go across on American ground. My life was very interesting. The best life a person could have.
I am Francisco Vasquez de Coronado, and I discovered the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River. That's why I'm the greatest explorer ever. I was born in 1510. I was the governor of New Galicia. I was so rich, so when I heard about the 7 golden cities, I wanted to get even wealthier. I am the greatest explorer because I discovered and explored the southwest region of North America. I left Spain in 1540 and my voyage ended in 1542. My discovery of the southwest region was important to Spanish colonization of the southwest. I divided the expedition into 2 groups so we wouldn't flood the water holes. Mendoza was the other leader. I died in 1554.
I am Christopher Columbus. I discovered the Americas in 1492. This was the best event ever in history. I also went on voyages in 1493, 1498, and 1502. On my first voyage, I found land in Indians. The Indians thought of me as a god, which made me feel spectacular. Towards the end, the Indians started caving on me. After my third voyage, I claimed a bunch of land in the Americas. More land claimed in the Americas than any other country in the world. I am not sure why the Americas were not named after me. I am the best explorer ever. My death date was May 20th, 1506. I died in the best country ever of Spain.
Laura Pfeiffer. I was born in Vienna, Austria on October 14th, 1797. I did not explore for a certain country. I explored for myself. I want to see what's out there and learn about the world. I am one of the greatest women explorers of my time. I'm one of the greatest women explorers in all of my time because I've written several different books that have been translated into several different languages. And that makes me maybe even the best explorer of my time. I was given the education normally given to a boy. I also wore boys' clothing, which was encouraged by my father until he died in 1806 when I was 9. Then, my mother encouraged me to wear girls' clothing and to play piano and knit. Growing up, I had 6 brothers, it was a nightmare, and 1 sister. I traveled around the world twice, and I already had 2 boys. I had also already divorced a man named Mark Anton Pfeiffer in 1822. He was a man who really only looked at me. Anyway, I died on the night of October 27, 1858 in Vienna from a disease I picked up on my last expedition to Madagascar.
Good afternoon. I'm Hernando Cortez. You know, the greatest explorer that ever lived. I was born in 1485. While I was exploring, I found lots of gold, and I mean lots of gold. I also once claimed all of Mexico and became governor of Mexico too. I also stole all the gold and sent it to Spain. You might be wondering why I started exploring. Here is the answer. I wanted to discover new land. Ever since I heard of Columbus's voyage, I started exploring. Did you know that the Gulf of California used to be called the Sea of Cortez? Something you should know is that I consider my voyage to Tenochtitlan a success, even though I didn't at first. I claimed Tenochtitlan, conquered the Aztecs, and stole all the gold. I consider myself the most powerful and greatest explorer that ever lived. Even the governor thought I would become too powerful. I died in 1547 after helping Spain become the strongest nation in the world. I never felt like I got all the recognition I deserved.
Leif Erikson. I was born in 980 and died in 1030. I discovered Vinland 400 years before Columbus. He thinks he's the best, but I always have been and I always will be. I brought back so many grapes and olives. Vinland means wine. I love finding wood. I even have a day named after me. It's October 9th. More frequently known as Columbus Day, but it used to be known as Leif Erikson Day.
Jean-Baptiste Comte founded Chicago, the Windy City, and I can tell you all about how it started. I went to America sometime in 1790. I settled in Mississippi, which looking at Americans referred to as the biggest last snow. I met a Native American woman named Catherine who ended up having sons with a Mary. My son's name was Jean. After that, I started the best trade ever. It had a mill, a smokehouse, a workshop, a barn, and other small buildings like that. It became a major supply for other traders in the Great region. Also, I became super rich. For a few years, I lived my life in peace. It was good. Incredibly sadly, I died on August 28, 2018. After I died, my granddaughter was the first child to be born in what would become Chicago.
I am Louis Joliet. I am the best Canadian explorer you could find these days. I am the person that explored the Mississippi River that runs today. I was born on September 21st, 1645. For all the voyages that I took for France, the best country. I became a musician, hydrographer, fur trader, and teacher in my childhood. As I grew up, I had the interest in becoming a priest, but quit so I could become an explorer. Once I took the job as an explorer, the new governor in France told me to take the exploration of the Mississippi with Jacques Marquette, a missionary from France. I claimed all the land I could find around the Mississippi River for France, and was known throughout the country for claiming the land and naming it New France, where the fur trading got thicker. I took another voyage to the Hudson Bay, named and claimed by Henry Hudson. The English had already taken over the whole bay. I died in the summer of 1699 or 1700. I traveled to an island and on the way died. I had a crew that had no captain to get back to their home.
I am Jean Baird. I was born on July 27, 1740 in Autun, France. I'm the first ever woman to circumnavigate the whole entire world. My parents taught me to identify plants for their healing properties, and I became an expert herb woman and schooled in botanical medicine. My passion for botany drew me to renowned Baptiste Gilbert Commerson. I worked for Commerson and helped him look for plants that we could turn into medicine. I went on the ship Ito to explore and look for different types of plants, but before I had to go on the exploration, I had to dress up as a boy, because women were not allowed to go on explorations like men did. I almost lasted the trip without them knowing I was a female, but when they found out, they started attacking me. Yeah. At least I found hundreds and hundreds of plants that we can turn into medicine. When I returned home, I could no longer explore because I was a female. But I wanted everyone to know that girls can explore whenever and wherever they want, not just boys. When I got off the ship, all the women started talking about me. I was really curious. And they came up to me, smiled and cheered me. Now my adventures are in my town's history.
Esteban Nico, the greatest African-American human to step foot on present-day Texas, lived from 1500 to 1539. I was first taken from my home in Africa to Spain and sold at a slave auction to a man named Andres de Dortes, who treated me like a really close servant. Andres soon took me on a voyage that was planned to go from Spain to Tampa Bay, Florida in search of gold. But a horrible storm forced our ship to present-day Texas. And that's how I became the first African American to step foot on present-day Texas. We set sail after the storm passed, but something tragic happened. Our ship sank. Many died. It was now just 15 of us, including me, Andres de Dortes, and the captain of our ship, and 12 other men. It was a harsh time, but we were all alive, all but the other 12 men that died on the way. It was now just the three of us, me, Andres de Dortes, and the captain. We were all enslaved by Indians promising to see each other again. Soon after we were freed, that did not happen. I was still stuck while the others escaped soon after they were enslaved. I then escaped and met up with the men. We started once again to look for riches. We only found tiny pieces of gold. I then stole a medicine cart and used my good language learning skills and my good medicine skills to go tribe to tribe, helping and healing sick and injured people. One of the tribes, the Zuni, mistook me for a spy. And the next day, everything was taken away from me, including my greyhounds, my green dinner plates, and my green dinner plates. I was then killed. My belongings were given to my living friends. That after my death, soon they all went back to Spain. I will be remembered for beginning my life enslaved and being an explorer, conquistador, and then the first African American in Texas.
I am Ferdinand Magellan, and I am the greatest explorer to ever explore Portugal. I was born on February 3rd in Sabrosa, Portugal. I am the greatest explorer to ever explore because I was the first person to circumnavigate the world. I proved Christopher Columbus was right. You could sail west around the world. The only reason I explored was for fame and fortune. I was looking for a western sea route to the Spice Islands, and I wanted to gain a new way to India by sea. The route I explored was the Strait of Magellan. The countries I explored were Malacca, present-day Malaysia, Morocco, and Philippines. I organized a Spanish expedition to circumnavigate the world from 1519 to 1522. I interacted well with the people I met on my voyage. For example, I converted about 2,000 natives to Christianity, and most of them wanted to do it. I also found out the world was round because I went all the way around with my sailing boats. On my voyage, I sailed off of 5 full ships and only came back with 2. I also commanded one of those ships named Trinidad. Many of my sailors were Spanish, so they didn't trust me because I was Portuguese. I died during the Spanish expedition on April 27, 1521 in Cuba, Philippines. I died in battle fighting the natives when I pushed too hard for my living.
My name is Giovanni Gavettano. I was born into a wealthy family in Valpurgis, Italy in 1485. In 1522, I went on a journey to find the Northwest Passage. When I went up the coast of North America, my crew left. I was nice to all the native women, but it was them that ended up killing me. I explored for France and spent a good part of my life searching for the Northwest Passage. I was killed by a native tribe called the Caribs in Guadalupe. Because of me, future explorers had great maps of the North American coastline.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jacques. I was born in 1491 in a town called Polo in France. In about 1544, I was accepted by King Francis I himself, searched for legendary Northwest Passage. There was a cold winter on the ship. It took almost 20 days for me and my crew to get to America. When we got there, there was this Indian group that called themselves the Iroquois. They tried to be nice with crackers and wine, but sadly they misunderstood, thinking that it was wood and blood. But moving on, I named Prince Edward Island. Then we found a river, the St. Lawrence. Sailed, I helped for a Northwest Passage, but as far as the river simply stopped. We didn't notice there were footprints. So we turned around and started looking for gold. After putting on some layers, we started digging. Hours later, one of my gatherers shouted, "Hey Jacques, I think I found something." Everyone rushed over, only to see there was something new, which he called Untitled. For some reason, everyone wanted to stay and study, but I completely decided that it was too cold. I invited my crew to come with me with my friends, but they refused. After I went back to France, I was awarded General for my bravery. Sadly, I died in 1557.
And I am one of the greatest explorers ever. I was born on October 27, 1728 in Yorkshire, England. I grew up in a small stone cottage. I am best known for exploring the South Pacific. I also discovered Australia and Antarctica. People think I'm a very strict captain. I went on 3 voyages, which took up 8 years of my life. I mapped Australia and Antarctica. When I went to Hawaii, the Indians think I was a god named Lono. I discovered many new plants and animals alongside botanist Joseph. I hope you all enjoyed learning about me, Captain James Cook.
I am Henry Hudson. I was born in 1565. I am the greatest explorer because I inspired other sailors to go on more expeditions to North America. I am the greatest and most determined sailor that ever lived. I am so determined to make Northwest Passage that my own family had to kill me to get me to stop time. I am so famous that waterways, schools, and even towns are named after me. I even discovered the Hudson Bay and the Hudson River. But sadly after that, I died in 1611.
Polo. I was born 1254 in Venice, Italy. I died January 8, 1424. I am one of the most famous explorers ever. I am a merchant like my dad and uncle. We went on the Silk Road to get to China. It is hard to get to China. Very few people go to China because it is hard. The Silk Road is from China to Europe. I found witches, metal appliances, printing presses, and silks. I am also very famous because I wrote a book. I was in China for 17 years. My trip to China lasted from 1271 to 1295. The reason I brought back witches is because kings and queens would buy valuables, and I get lots of money from selling them. The book I wrote about my trip was a bestseller all across the world. This began the age of exploration. I'm so famous, there was a game called watching Polo that kids play in their pools in the summer. There was also an app called Marco Polo.
I am Francis Drake, the greatest privateer of all time. I stole thousands of tons of gold from Spanish ships. Speaking of Spanish, I was the most important part of defeating the Spanish Armada. On a voyage where I stole tons of gold, I even circumnavigated the world and stayed alive for it, unlike Ferdinand Magellan, who died in the Philippines. I was also the mayor of Plymouth. I mean, what did I do? I died after a failed expedition in 1596 to Portobello, Panama. When I died, they buried me in full armor in a lead coffin. Now I would like to share some about my family. I'm the oldest of 12 sons to Mary Milway and Edmund Drake. Thank you. I will now return to my life off the coast of Panama.
That was great. That was awesome. One more round of applause. That was great. You guys can relax. Well, don't sit yet. You got to do something else. I have a couple of thank yous. First of all, I'd like to thank Jay Carter back there for doing the video. Thank you very much. And the 8th grade tech crew, Wyatt down here on the camera, and Logan in the back, helping me with crowd control. Wasn't needed today. Was yesterday. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to the parents for help with the scripts, the costumes, and all the snacks we have in our room. We're going to have a party. And I owe a big debt of gratitude to Megan Hossein, 5th grade teacher, for helping with the slideshow. And by that I mean she pretty much did it. I took home my computer the other night to do it, and after an hour and a half, it didn't work. So I texted her help, so we got it done. And huge thank you to all the kids. They worked real hard on this and their reports, and the hard part was making a speech from their reports that they did, and I really wanted them to do it, so I kind of stayed out of that. So they came out really nice, and thank you again. Big round of applause.